Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. How are you all doing? This is a free library, and it's out. It's available now. Welcome. Oh, my name's John Skippy Limcool. Get the microphone just a little bit back. It's a little bit hot. How are you doing? I hope you're all doing well. Let's see here. Let's get this a little bit wider. I forgot to turn on my mini mode. Oh, well. Hey, so this is going to be an insane live stream. I hope you guys got seatbelts on your chairs. You're going to need them, let me tell you. So where do we start? Well, first of all, this video is sponsored. Oh, I wanted to do one thing. Give me just a second. I'm going to let our Facebook group know that we're live so that it is broadcast and some of them can join that might not otherwise. We're live. Post. But today, let's see, is a very exciting day. The long story short is that we found a small bug that a few of you might have encountered with the Ambient Dreams library, because basically when I make sample maps, I make the sample maps of the full range. And Bob, for some of the sample maps, he didn't do that. And there's certain cases where MIDI box will be playing a sequence and it goes to play where there's no sample and that will crash, right? Well, we fixed that, and then we were talking about Shane and myself. Shout out to Shane. I'm sure he's here somewhere. Shout out to Tim, Todd, Barry, Ken, Vendor, Dave Woods. Oh my gosh, you guys are all here. It's so cool. Anyway, so we were talking about, what if we put some fun stuff in this update after we fix this bug, like this, like a couple weeks ago. And Shane's like, well, I've been working on some things. You want to see? and that always is like, ooh, what are you working on? What are you working on? And so we ended up putting together and Shane worked like a complete blizzard monster. I'm on the other side of the continent, right? I'm in the Pacific Northwest. He's all the way over in Nova Scotia. I swear, I could hear the clicking of his keyboard typing as he was working. But an unbelievable update is coming for you guys. We're calling this the customer love update because you guys are going to love these features. These things make Unify. Oh my God, I get goose pimples just because I've been playing with it, and I have to show it to you. But to start with, I want to just big shout out to everybody that worked on the Guru Collective. This is a library made by myself and all of my customers that have Unify. Many of you guys watching this live stream contributed to this, and so you should all be really, really proud. It came out really great. Shout out to Taylor if he's here. He worked his butt off to organize everything so it's all into the Plugin Guru organizations where you can find all the pads together and all the keys together and all the guitars, all that stuff. So this library has 176 patches up here that are the core patches. These are just a new set of samples in a Guru sampler for the most part is what you will find here. There's some cases where if you get to the BPM stuff, there's MIDI files and like these perk loops and stuff. Oh, these aren't in the BPM stuff. Okay, so yeah, up above there, they're available as also as BPM, I believe. Anyway, that's the maps. Oh, that's right. I made him just the maps, and he was going to make them into the MIDI file things if you wanted to for the library down here. And the Z patches are all the patches you guys made. Anyway, if you go to the pluginguru.com website, I should first of all point out a couple of things. Number one, because May 4th just happened, and I'm a big Star Wars fan, as I'm sure we all are, and I couldn't help making a mid-journey of Darth Vader playing the Death Star before it blew up. We have a sale going on. And so all retro libraries, things that have retro synth type things, if you hit the free goodies stuff on sale, or else if you click the May the 4th little banner, this will take you to all these libraries that are 50% off right now. So as just go through, peruse for Omnisphere and some other synthesizers. I also want to point out Ambient Dreams, which has been one of the best sellers we've released in a while. It's just wonderful how great it turned out and how much it like really sparked a special harmonious nerve with so many of you. It's just a beautiful, really amazing library Bob Dede's made. One note, I keep forgetting. So this library just goes to incredible places. All of these textures where it says voices and different acoustic instruments, but they've been processed in really cool, unique ways. Just beautiful. Everything is just so inspiring. And if you look at the sample map for this, there's quite a few samples. Some go into having like almost every note for a lot of these, but they're really amazing. Anyway, this library has 2 more days at its incredible price of $49. Its retail price is $89. So if you want to save $40 on this library for Unify, you've got 2 more days to do it. And if you go to the page, I should also point out we have now put up the free demo version where, go here and let's see, I'm going to turn this off. Down here, there's a free demo version for either Unify or Vital. Just click right here and it will take you to a Dropbox page to download, right? So that's really cool. Pluginguru.com is where you go for that. So Ambient Dreams, 2 more days at its incredible introductory price. The May the 4th sale, 50% off retro libraries. There's 10 libraries on sale at half off at the website. So go there to check those out. In a bit, I'm going to show you a new synthesizer from Softube. In fact, let's do that right now. And I'm going to show you one of the new features in Unify 1.10. So today we're going to be premiering it's right now a beta. So it's not the same as what you guys are going to see. You'll see it as Unify 1.10. And I have to confess a funny thing. So I posted on the Facebook. Oh, cool. Somebody got their coffee mug. Somebody posted. I posted a question. Let's see. Where is it at? Right here. I posted a what's next question on the Facebook Plugin Guru page. And 57 of you guys have replied, giving you these 3 options of which of these 3 would you like to see? What's the most important? Turns out all 3 of those are coming in this update. So I'm going to show you one of the first of the updated features. If you click on the little bullet to load a plugin, at the very top, there's now quick swap/search. If you don't have any plugins loaded, it says quick load/search. You can also right click the bullet and a little window pops up where all of your plugins are listed, and you can scroll down the list of plugins, see all of the instruments. If you right click over here for audio plugins, it lists all of the audio plugins. And if you right click on the MIDI effect slot, it's all instruments and all audio effects, because poor MIDI effects don't get any love. Some of them are showing up and registered as audio effects, some are registered as MIDI effects. So here everything is showed up. So I can right click here, I can say model, I can scroll down to the model 80 and hit load. And just like that, no searching with the mouse, no anything, it will load up the plugin that you select. So if you don't know the name of a certain plugin, you can right click and say, oh, I can't remember you know how every company folder is different than the name of the plugins and stuff? That's all gone now. All you have to do is say Cascade. This is this really cool reverb I'm going to show you guys. So we'll talk about Cascade in a minute, but first let me show you a bit about Model 80. But that feature is like game changer of game changers. Because you just right click, you can say Omnisphere, O-M-N-E, there it is, hit return, load. No more going over here. Before, you'd go down here, oh, I have to scroll, where's Spectrasonics? Oh, here's Spectrasonics. I'd have to do all that. That's all gone. Now you just go here and go Omni, boom, it's loaded. it's not even funny. It's so beautiful. So everybody say thank you, Shane, for just doing that alone is just like incredible. So it makes everything. In fact, I saw that there's a company that has that feature can be added to Logic Pro. I think it's like $49 or something like that. It's to add this thing. You have to rescan the plugins in their thing, and it doesn't scan all the plugins, I understand, and stuff like that. But this is built into Unify. And so all of your plugins that you're working with in Unify, you can now right click, say, I want to load, you could say a company name like Uhi, and it'll list all Uhi's plugins. Or I could say Arturia, it'll list all of Arturia's plugins. So it's not just the plugin name, but also just the company name, all that kind of stuff. There's all sorts of different ways that you can use this search to quickly load. You can say load selected, you can double click, or you can hit return. And you can use the arrow up and down to go, oh, I want pigments. Boom. It says, okay, give me a second. I got to find it. And there's pigments. Okay. So let's get back to right click Model 80. So Softube makes to me I would have to say probably my favorite of the emulations of all the vintage gear. There's no audio effects. There's no special capabilities. They're trying to be true to the instruments. If we go here and we load, for example, Model 84, this is the Juno 106, which just has it's got the vibe. Their filtering is just great, 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 great. Well, they have focused on the Prophet 5. And they have made it only 5-voice polyphonic, and there is no place inside of the plugin to increase the polyphony. So all my big chords I love to play, I can't play. I have to play more. You play 4 notes with the left hand, with the right hand, 1 note with the left hand. Could you find Spit and all libraries? Yes. If you right click and say Spit, there's all the Spitfire stuff. I have quite a few Spitfire things loaded. So, but yes, you can type Spit and there's all your Spitfire. What's also nice is this makes it really quick to just see your list of everything you have loaded. So you can go through the list and go, oh, I forgot. I really like that plugin. You know, you buy something, you forget you have it. When they're down here nested inside of folders, all kind of hiding in their own little blinded folders, it's really hard to see it. We do have options here for alphabetical, but a lot of people don't remember that that's there. Now you can just right click and there they are. So it's super, super nice. Anyway, the Prophet 5 Model 80, as they call it. Sounds great. Yeah, good. Really nice and bright when you want it. I'm not a big fan of their tool helper It pops up to show you the values, but it stays and it blocks things. And if it's up, you can't click on something if this is covering it. So there's times where this is like covering this knob. I can click, I guess I can move that. Does it? Oh, it remembers it. Oh, interesting. So you can move this around. Oh, that's cool. Okay, well, you can move something out of the way to a place you want it to be. That's cool. I like that. Okay, at first I didn't like that feature, but now I do. It sounds really nice. It's got the cross mod, so you can. I could say, let's have the filter be modulated. Oscillator 2. Also notice that for the oscillators, they have it by pitch instead of by 16-foot range and so forth, which is interesting. That's using the filter EG. Sounds really nice. Let's call up a pad because, of course, one of the cool things with Unify is that something that doesn't have enough notes of polyphony, we can easily extend that. Here's a unison with the tune. That filter is serious. I mean, come on. It's great. Really, really nice. Really nice. Let's make that have a long release. And I can't play more than 5 notes of polyphony. All you have to do, go up here. I'm going to show you a new feature. New feature time. MIDI effects are now getting full range. They are no longer cut in half. So they cover the whole range because there's times where we can add multiple MIDI effects and all that kind of stuff. And it just becomes where all of a sudden, since it's cut in half, the space for the names of what's loaded in there becomes really convoluted quickly. So we decided to make MIDI effects have the full range of the keyboard. So let's go over here to Unify's effects. And I want to use a polybox because that is our polyphony friend. And what you do is it's set to a pool of 4, which is fine. We need to say that per each one of these plugins, it can have up to 5 voices of polyphony. So that way this plugin knows how to manage it. All I have to do is go down here and say, listen to that MIDI effect and change this to MIDI channel 1. And then the final step, you're going to see a new parameter, but I'm not going to go there yet. But look at change layer color is down there just waiting for me to show it to you guys. But first we're going to say duplicate by 3. And by doing that, we have now 4 copies of Model 80. Which allows us another cool feature that we added. I'm going to show you right now. This is not changing. Oh, it's effect too wet. Well, we don't want it to do that. I'm going to show you a new feature. Look over here. Inside of the macro targets, we now have the guru ear. The all-knowing ear is sitting there listening and waiting. So all I have to do is, oh wait, well, it won't work for this. I'm going to show you more about that in a second because this is actually a parameter that I can't do this with. But if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to have filter cutoff, I hit the guru ear, I move filter cutoff, and boom, it's assigned. And then if I want, I can go over here and I could duplicate this for each of the other layers. Say duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. And now all 4 layers. But I'm going to show you another cool trick. So if we go over here and we say plus, and we go to instrument 1, and we want it to be the auxiliary send. This, but we want it to be number 2, not 1. We want to be 2. Oh. Okay, so it's adding that delay, but it's only adding it to the first parameter, right? There's now an option under one of any macro knob that says duplicate links to all layers, which by doing this, all of a sudden, it's now working on all 4 layers. It will take whatever parameter you've assigned, and if it sees that parameter in other lists, if it sees other Guru samplers, for example, in the list, and you've assigned it to a Guru sampler parameter, it will propagate that for every layer that there's a Guru sampler. So you can quickly go through something where like this should be doing the chorus, which is, I don't want it to do that. I can go over here. You can actually use the ear right there too. We'll talk about that in a minute. Instrument, Guru, send 1. So now I got, you hear the chorus on just 1, right? We'll go over here and say duplicate links to all layers. Now it's on all of them. Seriously, this update is going to be insane. But now we have the filter, and we have 4 times 5. We have 20 notes of polyphony. With a 5-voice polyphonic synthesizer. And if your synthesizer only has 1 voice of polyphony, you could say set this to 1. And then you would go in and say you wanted to have, let's say we want to have a pool of 8. So now I'm counting on there being 8. This is looking for 8. So once we go 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to play forward. Nothing happens until I go over here and I say duplicate by 7. And then I'm going to go over here and get rid of the top ones by just option clicking on these to get to 8. And I just expanded this, right? But these parameters aren't working yet for all these other new plugins that we just added. Again, just go down here, say duplicate all links. Duplicate all links. Now they are. So programming is seriously sped up. Okay. And again, the way that this works is if you hold down option and you click init, this gets rid of everything instrument-wise except for layer 1. So that way you can just go like that, bypass the polybox. You could go over here and find a different patch. Let's say I like that, and I want to play that with more than 5 voices of polyphony. All I have to do is go over here and say duplicate by 7 and turn back on polybox. And if you notice the CPU core, even though I'm using 8 of the Model 80 plugins, the processor is about the same as if I was to go option init and bypass polybox. It bumps up just a little bit, but not much for loading 8 plugins of the same plugin, right? So if we turn this back on, say duplicate by +7, so we're back to 8. Okay, so it's a really nice plugin. It's at the Softube website. They have it available for $99 right now, which is a great opening introductory price. Softube.com is the website you want to go to. They also have some other sales this weekend only you should check out if you want. Transient Shaper, which is really great. They have a bass amp. That's all these things are on sale, but the Prophet 5, they call it the Model 80, is here. And it's $99 instead of $159. And I believe there's a demo version to try out. It's great. Really, really great. The other thing I wanted to show you really quickly, let's show you with this. Let's go Option, Init, and Bypass Polybox, is Cascade. Now, to make this work, I'm going to go over here to the transport. I'm going to say manual stop, because when it gets MIDI off, it mutes itself, and there's no option to turn that off. This is a $19 reverb from this company called, it's a relatively new company. They have a couple plugins. If you haven't seen them before, let's go new Phono. Phono, Phono. Here you go. This is Phonolinth Cascade. They have it also for iOS and iPad for $5, but it's available for the Mac for $19 instead of $29. The other thing they have that's really amazing is Velvet Machine, which is like a Bloom reverb. That's incredible. Please check that out if you want. They're both really amazing reverbs, but this is a beautiful, more sound design oriented reverb. It can be super long. Let's do this. Let's put it onto something acoustic. So let's go replace from layer, presets, Guru sampler. Let's do the guitar. And I need to right click and say Cascade. It kind of sounds like the Mega Magic reverbs that I've put on some of the libraries, right? But it has some really great ensemble type of vibe. Evaporating cloud. Isn't that nice? So, check that out if you would like to add to the really, really nice. Okay, are you guys ready? Let's do it. Here is our update to Unify 1.10. On top of the quick load feature, another feature we have is colors. We are embracing colors in a big way with this update. Check this out. Let me make sure we're on the accordion so you can see all of the beauty of this. Are you ready? Check this out. Boom. Each layer can be any color from a palette. And I'll explain a little bit about how that works. But inside of Unify right now, we have our standard palette that will ship when you get Unify. Let's go to something like Cloud City. Still one of my favorite libraries. Let's go to something that's kind of big, that's got a lot of stuff going on, like one of these like Cloud Hop. Right? So, drums. I can click on the bullet and I can go change layer color, and there are the colors. And the way it works is that the color is the bottom darkest color. So you'll play with this a little bit and you'll get the idea really quickly. You use a darker tone, and then what happens, let's say I want this to be, I like to do drums in brown because it's kind of like a wood organic thing. So I click this, boom, it's brown. And you notice that it's got the highlights and different colors of brown, all the coloring and stuff. Yay to Shane, because he designed it a long time ago so that it was all kind of this color matched by different hues, luminosities based on the color. So if I go to, this is the bass. That should be like a dark gray, I think. So let's go down here. Oh, hey, did you see that I did something kind of cool? Not only do we have them here for those of you that need a place to know where to go, but just like right-clicking on the plugin name pops up the search window, if you right-click on the bullet, it pulls up the color menu. So all you have to do now is say, let's do it a dark gray. Oh, wait, this is supposed to be brown. Bass, I want to have be this dark gray color. Let's say I want this to be kind of a harpy, happy color. Maybe I love this color sound, that sound, so I want it to be red. And these two sounds are kind of together, so they should be both the same colors. Let's make them both yellow. And then into the sampler for this guitar that can show up when I want it to, we'll have it be the light color. So I can go over here. If I want, I can even change the color of the auxiliaries to any color I want. Let's say I want them to be blue, and I like the master to be black. So it just looks boss, right? So if you want color, you can do color. Not only that, but we have a system in place where if we go into the, I'm just going to talk about this a little bit. We'll cover this in videos and stuff, but in the presets, there is a color palettes folder, and we have a layer colors file, which is all set up with everything in color. You can change the name. Say instead of color 1, I want this to be golden hues. Let's say, for example, right? If I hit save, if I quit Unify, and if I recall back up Unify, when I go to the list, it now says golden hues for the text. If you don't want to say any text, you can just be a space or something like that. You can make an unlimited sized color map of your choice. You can go crazy. You could have this be 200 colors and long. We haven't tested yet to see what happens if you do that many, but there is no limit on how many colors. Also, the other thing that's awesome about this is the color map file can be whatever it was. The color of the layer is saved in the patch, which means that when I go over here, I'm going to show you this in a little bit, but here's the Crumar library I'm working on. I made a patch and it saved the colors. My hue map could be whatever. It doesn't matter when I call these up. By the way, this is the next library coming. It's my lovely Crumar orchestrator that I had sampled. It sounds incredible. The keyboard. That's the sound that was used from the Crumar on the album. There it is, all that kind of stuff. So let's get back to the updates, because I'll show you this library at the end. There's a couple other fun things. I went out, let me tell you, I do not cut any expenses. I buy the most incredible recording equipment. So that I can record fidelity like nobody else on the planet. So that my Crumar, if I want I can have the violin and cellos sound like this. Because it's Unify, we can also make it stereo. But We can also make it Radio Shack. Which you might go, that sounds horrible, but when you combine it with other things, like there's this analog strings that sound like a rollin'. Really sweet in there, really nice to add. Anyway, so let's get back to this update. Let me show you a couple other things that are really cool. So we have the plugin search by text. We have colors, both as a palette. You can change the palette. You can choose your own colors. You'll learn really quickly that you want to be within just a very certain spectrum of darkness. I'm going to talk to Shane. We're still working on this. It's not all the way done, but if there can be a way where once it gets to a certain hue value, we need the text to invert and become black instead of white. Because when the text is white, if you have too light of a color, you can't read the text. It just goes away. So we have to look at that. That's one issue we haven't quite dealt with altogether yet. But another feature that is coming, I showed you a minute, the Guru Ear. Let me show you how that works. Let's go over here. Let's say something like, let's use a Cherry Audio. You can say Cherry, something like Dream Synth. Dream Synth has a lot of parameters. Trying to find parameters in this when you're trying to assign it to the knob so that you can do something is challenging, right? Because if you go over here to your link parameters, and you use the plus button like we normally would, and you go to the instrument Dream Synth, here's all the parameters. It's a lot to try to find where it is, the strings, what oscillate, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do any of that anymore. All you have to do, let's get this to be out of the way, is I can just go over here. I can hit the Guru Ear. Notice that it's flashing. Both the plus is flashing and the ear is flashing. Let's say I want to do cutoff. So I just grab cutoff, boom, there it is. And if I move this now, you'll see that it's... And let's say I also want to add envelope mod. So I just go over here and I hit Guru Ear again, move envelope. And then all I have to do is go over here and I can change my curvatures if I want this to be inverted. It's that easy now to add any parameter on any synthesizer. Say I want to add the octave to this. So I go boom, just touching the octave and changing to one parameter value. It's there. So it is so easy now to add as many modulation targets because there's no limit. You can have as many as you want. I could have this change the, let's go over here to, there's a reverb. Let's have this do the wet dry mix. I don't think it's there. Let me see. For some reason it went red, maybe because it was off. There's, interesting. Well, again, we're still in beta. I have good news in that we hope to release this maybe as soon as next week on Thursday. If we can get everything sussed out like we would like it to be. That's our current plan. Let me see here. Let me get this back to size that I want it to be. So we have the Guru Ear. We have for targeting, we have the colors for the layers. We have auto search. There's more. Can you believe it? There is more stuff than this to have. It's just, oh, I love it. I love it. It's like Christmas time. So one thing that is really cool is we have a new phaser. Called Phase More. Look at that beautiful, mind-blowing interface like you've never seen before. But we're like people in Portland, Oregon. You can't judge anybody in I walk up to people to talk to, and it turns out they're a famous author of science fiction, and they just look like they would not be an author of incredible books that I love, right? Or something. You can't judge. It's what this does that's more important than how it looks. And this is an incredible phaser that has up to 11 stages, or 10. So you can get all sorts of incredible it's just beautiful. The frequency range, you can skew the shape all the way down to one stage. Which sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. And it will go all the way down to unbelievable slow speeds for those of you that love the super slow phasers, or it will freeze. And now you can change the frequency. So if you're trying to do all sorts of really cool, there's a thing for a lot of the EDM dance synth sounds where they use a frozen phaser and use the phaser as like an ambient resonant frequency. So we can do all that kind of stuff. You can get into the vocal stuff. Isn't that cool? Really, really, really cool. We also have more. There's more. I'm not done. We're not done. Check this out. Let's go over here to Mega Magic Harp. Let's go to the harp. Harp. Where's the harp? Love the harp. Just the dry harp. Let's just do Mary's harp dry. And we have a new reverb, a beautiful reverb called Data Verb. So if we go to Unify Standard Reverb, we now have 11 reverbs and Data Verb. Just beautiful, truly a beautiful. So, how much should this update be? All these new capabilities, colored layers, search by text, the auto target with the Guru ear, a new reverb, a new phaser that's got multiple stages and can freeze and do all that stuff. How much should this update be? It's free. But we're going to do something special. Because many of you have had Unify for a long time, right? And this is, I believe, the 10th, obviously, the 10th major update to Unify. Shane does not make any money on updates. And so he has done 10 updates without getting any extra fun. I don't pay him extra. He gets paid a percentage of sales of what we sell that is Unify based, because that's fair, because it's his software making this. But when he releases all these updates and the hundreds and hundreds of hours, he never has earned an extra penny from that. And I'm going to make a page at the website where Shane is going to make a little video where he shows you this update. And you can buy this video, and there'll be multiple tiered pricing so that you can send some appreciation for all the work Shane has done directly 100% to Shane. Okay? Because all you guys, if you want Unify 2, it has to be, let's make it worth it for Shane to know that we appreciate what he has done, because none of this would exist without him. So it's an appreciation to Shane page for a video. It's a personal video that won't be on the internet unless you buy this update, the little video support. It's been just a showing support to Shane for all the work he has done to keep Unify growing for 3 years, right? 4 years. So yes, show Shane the love. But all of these features will be free. If you own Unify, it will be a free update. Now, the next update after this, we're not doing Unify 2 yet, but the next update, I think we're going to try to tackle audio outputs and stuff like that. And if so, we're going to do that. It's a rocky road. It's a lot of work. That will be a paid update. Like there will be an actual fee for that update. We will be trying to do it that way. But this is free to give you kind of a love for appreciation for all that this can do. Yeah, so still have the offer get Modox for free limited time. Oh, yes, thank you. I'll fix that right now. Get the free there. No more Modalex. Modalex is a wonderful arpeggiator. It was free for a while. I put that in there. It's gone. Thank you, Matthias, for pointing that out. The reverb is wonderful. It has really cool energy to it. It's really beautiful. If we go to something like Lo-Fi, which has the drums in here and stuff like that. So we go to BPM drums. Instead of Zenverb, let's right click and say data. There it is. Right? I'll tell you a trick. If you want to use reverb on drums, a really nice, quick, easy trick is to go to Unify Standard, Filter Max, and put a high-pass filter on it. That way you can filter out the kick. Here's without it. Add a Filter Max in your reverb channels. And you get to just be this really nice, dry, right? But Data Verb is just wonderful. It's got nice diffusion. Has pre-filtering, which is low-pass filter. Also has post-filtering. So it does a really nice job for ambience type of things. Again, without the Filter Max, it's of limited use because that bloom of low end is just going to mess up your mix. So putting a Filter Max, changing it to high pass, and then adjusting the frequency. And now the kick doesn't have any reverb to it because we've filtered out those kick frequencies before it hits the reverb. You can do it after the reverb too by just click and drag. But it's a different sound, so you can kind of decide which sound you want to have. Yes. Yeah, MIDI box. Those are kind of like the bigger things I think we're looking at for Unify 2, if we can tackle that at some point in the future. There's a lot of that kind of stuff to do. MIDI box does need to be more than just this. It needs to have a visual editor and move notes around and a record button and all that stuff. So that's in the future. It's on the list we want to work at. Yeah. So I think wrong BPM, almost not good. Oh, well, if you're trying to do lo-fi, 70 is about where you want to be, you know. Now, if I wanted to use this in a lo-fi setting, let's do this. Let's set it to latch. And I want to set the key range to low C. And I can set my key range here to low C. Click right here and say mono latch and turn on latch by hitting the little L. So now this is the Lo-Fi library. Let's say I want to add a bass. So let's say load a new bass. And I'm going to say cut the top range there. And then I'm going to go BPM key. Piano-ish, load into the Unify layer. Set that to C above. It is so easy to set something up to start writing by playing like this. All I did is I took a drum groove and I set it to latch. Set your trigger mode to latch. This is, by the way, using the standalone version of Unify, which is important. If you're running this inside of a DAW, then the tempo and all sorts of clock information is decided by your host sequencer in the DAW, right? In standalone, Unify is everything. So there's nothing else controlling here. So I can set this to latch, right click, tell this low note to only follow transport from down there. So anything I play up here is only following that established tempo. Then I just use the right click, set the drums to play here. I can go over to the bass, have it start at C sharp. So C is just the drums. And then I just found a sound for the right hand. And so let's do this. Let's add something from Ambient Dreams. Let's go to Ambient Dreams. Well, let's add some mallets. This should be cool. And maybe I want some motion in it. So I can go over here. I go to Unify Standard, Dynamics, Pump House. It's so much fun. Unify is such a great playground to play with. It's just all that much easier and fun now with some of these new features that we're adding. So I could go over here. I could right click, say drums. Over here, say kind of cool dark gray color for the bass, black for the master, the right hand keyboard parts. Let's have these be 2 shades of purple. And I want the auxiliaries. By the way, also, if you notice, if I want, when I click the colors at the very, very top is the default color that layer defaults to. And that's always there. So if I went, oh no, I just want to put it back, just right click and Guru standard green for the instrument layers is right there for me to put everything back. So it's nice how it works. It's nice that it's not to the point to like every item in the layer is assignable. So you make these like just we don't want to get it to where it's not tasty, you know, in the colors. Just be aware when it gets to the color wheel. By the way, if you don't know how to do this, I love it. I wish Reason had this. Yes, Rainbow Unify. I need a plugin to make my brain work as quick as John's. Just live Unify for a while and you'll get it. So yeah. Now this is a sound like that's not normally what you do for a bass, right? Because it's a little muddy and stuff like this. So let's see what's going on here. There's a delay. It's got a long release. There's a really cool trick you can do where you have a very short amp into the sustain being low. It's a form of compression. So I can have the bass instead of boomy, right? That's better. And the fun thing, remember, because I loaded this, I loaded motion mallets, it's a Unify layer, right? So the fun thing about that is I can open up this Unify layer And I can change this to be any patch from anywhere. I could say I want to use Zebra. Let's go down here to the Zebra 2 library. Now Zebra's in there. And because this is a Unify layer, I can do all the fun things where I can right click and say, load another patch into memory. Oh, that's not right. I can even open up that Unify layer and fix that patch. And notice Pump House and stuff didn't go away because Pump House is on that top layer. So Pump House is still there. So cool. Any questions? 8 knobs and the keyboard together. Oh, that's a lot of work. We want to do that at some point to get the keyboard and knobs into a visibility layer and stuff like that. That's definitely on the list for us to do. All right. Do you have any questions? Any thoughts on unifying the Model 80? Yeah, we'll probably want to do that, or else if somebody wants to do that, please, we have a thread at our forums. If you don't know, forums.pluginguru.com. Let's see, log in real quick. We have an area for unifying libraries. If you can go there and put a post saying that you're going to unify the patches. I don't believe there's that many patches. Let me see here. Model 80. There's some really great tools. Am I doing this inside of a? Oh, wait, cancel. Patches here. Oh, there's quite a few patches. Great. Teleview. What's Teleview? Oh. We'll see. If somebody wants to unify the patches and get them to me, I can go through and do the target assignments for the knobs. It's just the process of saving on each of the patches takes time. I don't have time right now for myself to do that. I'm working really hard on the Kumar Orchestrator library, which I'll show you here in a minute. Have you thought about creating a Discord channel? There is a Discord channel. Nobody's on it, but there is a Discord Plugin Guru channel. I don't know how to use Discord per se. I use it for Mid-Journey and some other things, but if somebody wants to help be co-moderators on the Discord channel, that's fine, but there is a Plugin Guru Discord channel. That it might be easier. Yeah, it's there. Just tell me how to use it. Okay, so the Kumar. This is such a great library. Let me go over here, and I think I can plug in the Kumar itself. If I go over here to those Logic, I need to say, give me a new instrument and have that go to input 1. That's the Kumar with its noise, and here it is inside of Unify. So Kumar, let's do like a same thing. And you also have it in stereo. Let me see. I had made a request. Let's see if Shane has that in here. The dynamics, we have a stereo gain. Now there's a mono button there. so I can make sure that my stereo doesn't have any phasing issues. Sounds pretty good. So we have the violin and cellos, just the violins. I don't have the cellos. That's one of the things I think I recorded the cellos. Did I not record the cellos? I might have to go back and get the cellos. Oh no, I have the cellos. They're here. Cellos. I just hadn't saved them out yet. Cellos and cello. These are all of the sounds in the library. There we go. Save cellos. Yay. And this needs to say cello. Save as save. So there, as you can see, there's a mono and stereo for the violin, cello. I'm going to do that for anything that says mono, like the orchestral Kumar. This is where I have the bass and everything kind of turned on. And then we have brightness. We can make it brighter. But check this out. If you call up the V Kumar Orchestra, this is using the cellos, the violins, bass all together as separate instruments inside of Unify. Sounds just incredible. The sounds. Is the Kumar a Unify self-contained library? Yes, it's 100% just Unify. You don't need anything else for this. And then on top of this, because I want to always do more than just sample an instrument by itself, so I've used a number of granular techniques to make some really cool granular things. Which, if you go over here and you combine them with the original violin and cello, it's lovely, lovely stuff. There's other granular type of sounds. Gentle has a cool. Nice. There's granular brass. Really, really nice pads. Granular spheres is kind of like picture flying in a spaceship at warp 5. Got that cool vibe. Yes. Favorite icons is one of those we talked about. It won't make it into this update, but that's definitely something we want to have, so that you can do more flexible favorites in some unique way. We've got a couple ideas on that. Good suggestion. We've got the Kumar brass in a number of different settings. That's more closed, wide open. So at this point, you could go in and program your own with the filter and stuff inside of Unify. nice. So all sorts of fun stuff to give that retro vibe, but also have modern vibe. There's some really cool things for combining them all. The vintage swell. So probably not this week because we're doing this big update, but probably the week after that, this library will be available. And again, Phased and In Love is showing the new phase more. Just wonderful phaser. So we'll play with that more when the time comes. How do you get the collective library patches? All I get are the samples. Well, if you go to the Plugin Guru website, as right here, let me log in real quick. If you log in and you own that library, it will show up. So let me see if it shows up. I can't remember if I assigned that to myself or not. I did not. There's two options for downloading. There's the full download, which should be everything. Let me double check because hopefully it didn't mess up, because I was trying to be really really careful with how I did that, all these different things for what's going on here. So if I go right here to the GuruNation Collective. Yeah, no, well, let me see here. Let me open this up here. Unzip, please. So there should be, let's double check here. Let's go. And just for the fun of it, I'm going to go. We'll see together if Skippy messed up. This is supposed to have samples and everything inside of it. I have something really fun to show you guys in closing. So check this out in a second. Let's open this up. Collective. Yeah. Patches are all there. So the full download will give you everything. The patches, the samples, MIDI files, everything. You just take the .zip file. Actually, it's called a .guru, right? Guru. Yes, use Guru. All you have to do is drag that over Unify and say, OK. I'm going to say cancel because it's already there. And that will install the full library. We don't need this because it's not there, right? So you just take the .guru file and drag it. And it's the version 1F is the version you want. That's the version. That's the final version. You might have downloaded an earlier version, version 1V. Version 1V is for voicing, for making the patches in the library. That's what everybody got. But even that came with a whole bunch of patches and samples. So the very, very first version of the collective that I released just had like a couple sample maps. And then the second version we released had everybody's samples and all 176 patches. And then the final version is this one, which has 464 patches, 1.8 gigabytes of samples, all these patches by all these wonderful people. By the way, if we go to favorites, I've got a couple of things I've favorited. The big band section came out really cool. And the big band and reeds is with the saxophones. Herbie, thinking of you, man. Right? So for you play Chameleon. I played Chameleon in big band in high school, but it was the Maynard Ferguson version, but Herbie was the originator, of course. Anyway, so there's really cool stuff. Oh, Saturday at Mozart's house. This is with harpsichord, the piano, the violins, and then the concert cello and stuff from the Unify Standard Library. So we just had the coronation of the king, right? I don't know what the coronation music is, but you could play it. With that, if you wanted to. So anyway, but to close, I have something fun to show you guys. This is from 4 years ago. We got SuperBooth about to take off. This was the first premiere of Unify at SuperBooth in 2019. Urs Heckman allowed me to kind of take over half of their booth a couple times a day to do an introduction with Unify. And so here we are. Let me make sure that the audio is up so you can hear this. So let me go over here. And yeah, you don't hear that yet. Hold on a second. Loop back. Love our loop back. So we go over here and we say add QuickTime player. Boom. So with this layout, as you can see, this is using... So this is a pre-version. This version never came out. We changed it, but it used to have like the graphics of lightning in the background. All this stuff. This is how it was when we first introduced... Let's see here. Well, this is the +2, so there's actually just 5 highs, and yesterday I made a variation on this, but here it is. By the way, this video was made the day that I flew into Berlin, and my suitcase was lost. And so I didn't have clothes to change into, I was jet lagged, but it's still fun to show. That's 3 highs, because you can see from the red line that there's a key ranging for 3 highs down here on the left hand. And then these 2 are in the right hand. So if you own highs with this, you can play 5 of them. So this is where it started 4 years ago. At SuperBooth. I was like, wait a minute. You know, any synthesizer you own, you now can use in multiple. Everybody wishes they had a multi-mode. Like some synthesizers have this performance multi-mode ability. Now any synthesizer can have a multi-mode capability. So it's really fun. There's a TX816 from back in the 80s, $8,000 for a big rat. We're converting. It's going to come with a handful of synthesizers. One of them being a free one called Dex Ed, which has basically the same architecture, algorithms, all the things of the DX7. And I had a friend send me the factory patches to the TX816, so I have all the factory patches for each of the modules that came with the DX7. So here's the cello ensemble that came with the DX. And I worked really hard as a young kid to earn enough money to buy a TX216, which was only 2 DX7 models. And here it's very easy to choose, go over here to the acoustic piano and... So, isn't that fun? Speakers have been hit. And you can even solo out the parts and find that some of the patches they designed were just the elements. So with this layout, as you can see, this is using 8 different patches. What's fun is that this is multi-processor savvy, which means that it is actually, each one of these is calling and playing on a core separate processor in your computer or thread. So I have an example here. Let me call this up really quick. You can. Oh, was it blocking?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
This one's okay, I think.
Yeah, I wish I was going to SuperBooth. I'm not going to make it this year. There you go. So this is Omnisphere. We're on this track right here. Oh, this is right here. This is a multi-mode from a library that we've released called the ESC Personal Flavors. And we have people here like Tim Dale in the corner here that are part of that international voicing team. It's 20 different programmers from 14 continents. This multi is calling up 3 patches, and on my end, because it is not multiprocessor savvy, that means all 3 patches. Thank you, Andrew. Reading up one of the 4 chords in my little i7, souped up as high as I could get it, so I can. One note's no problem if I play 3. Because Unify is savvy as far as its use of all of these different things. Like 5-note chords, and there's no crackle. It blew me away. So this goes on. I won't play the whole thing. Maybe I'll put this up on YouTube at some point to because it allows you to do things with more powerful, more power hungry. But yeah, Unify has come a long ways from May of 2019. It was literally 4 years ago in Berlin. We showed it for the first time to everybody, and now it's in a whole different space, and it looks so nice as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, well, I'm glad you guys dig it. Yeah, I know, Fred. I'm sad I'm not going to make it. I decided, money doesn't come on trees, right? And for my birthday, I'm going to drive to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And so in June, I'm going to do a road trip, spend some time in Utah, take my camera, I haven't had like an actual vacation in a very long time where I, go away just for like photography and stuff like that. So it'll be really, really fun. So I can't wait to get away. But now, so Wilfred asked about Loopback. Loopback is an application made by Amoeba. If you're trying to do anything audio-wise on a Mac, it's not for PC. So sorry for those of you that are on a PC, but Loopback from Rogue Amoeba software is a game changer because you can turn on and off and route to different audio interfaces and so forth, all of your audio. So I can have all these applications running so that they can come into here as well as go into being something that can be picked up by OBS for live streams. I see all these shorts of people showing like, hey, listen to this cool sound. And they play something and it's coming through their iPhone speaker recorded. And I'm like, no, gotta up your game, man. Get your audio. I don't want you guys to hear that through my speakers. I want you to hear the sound from Unify, right? So Loopback Audio allows me to route audio really easily and stuff like that. What's that? Oh, did I lose the window? I lost you guys. Let me get that back. Go back to here, new. Collective library download equals 0 bytes. Oh. Okay. Let me try to fix that once the live stream is over. That's interesting because it uploaded and completed last night. So I'm not going to do that type of stuff right now. But apologies if it's not working. It's supposed to be working. Try so hard to get everything to work like it's supposed to, but there's always gremlins. But gremlins can be fixed. And so I will fix it if that's the situation. Let me take a look really quick. I'm just going to look at the downloads. GuruNation Collective. Yeah, it should. Huh. I don't know if it's maybe the text that I put in it. That's really interesting. I'll have to look at this to find out what happened, but everything was uploaded. Here, let's do this. I can give you links right here. So I have it in Dropbox as well. So let's go over here to GuruNation Collective. This is the full 1.2 gigabyte file. I won't do the single patches only, but here is the full version on Dropbox. Just download from there. 5 bonus ambient dreams patches. Yes, those are still available to be added by downloading that file. Let me put the download link. There, I've added it to the video description as well, so you can get the download link. Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll look into it. I don't understand why some people don't have a problem and some do, but there's a link, so that will get you to the Dropbox, to the files, so you can download, hopefully, to get all these patches. And the final version of the library came out so nice. So thank you to all of you. By the way, give a shout out to everybody. Ash, Barry, Bram Vandermark, Chris Gard, Dirk, Don, Frederick, Greg, Ian, JH, wherever you are, John Lewis Cluck, Ken, thank you. Kendall, KWC the third, Michael, RJH, Thievery, Tim Dale, Troy, Jacobo. Thank you. All of you guys. Thank you for contributing. We'll do this again in the fall. We'll do another collective. Good. Glad you guys are able to get it. One way or another, we can find solutions, right? I also want to point out, just a reminder, you can right click on an object layer, the top bar area, to change the keyboard range. There's 2 modifier keys to be aware of as well, but with the right click. If you hold down Control and Option or Alt on your PC, and then you click in this area, just inside the bar in the upper part is where I find is the most reliable to click. You can change a fade. And this is a fade for the keyboard range. And if I go down here and right click here, I can put it so that there's a fade here as well. I can right click to change this. This is velocity based fade. Omnisphere can do fades where they're controlling the volume of the different layers. Because we're dealing with different plugins on different layers, we don't have that level of integration. So we use velocity. So make sure your patches have amp velocity sensitivity. If they don't have amp velocity sensitivity, then the fade won't do anything because you're playing softer velocities. This is scaling velocity automatically as you go up the keyboard to be less and less. But if your amp EG is not listening to velocity, then it's not going to make any result. So Control and Option is what allows you to change the actual range of the fade. And then if you want, we can get even carried away and go Control and Shift, and then right click, or I think normal click as well in this range, to change curvature. So you can have the velocity scaling be more extreme in this part of the range before it gets to this part of the range, as far as the drops and stuff like that. So we talked about trying to incorporate this into the interface, but it's going to take a major revision to get all that kind of information to show up and not just look like an airplane cockpit. So we don't want it to look super busy. So we didn't do anything about that. But those 2 features are really handy. I use that for the strings What's nice is, like, say the cello spiccato. Just has this area where it more naturally can crossfade. I want to make it even wider. So if I combine that with the viola, so you can get these natural crossfades from one section and one instrument to another, so that to do stuff like that. So be aware, those are still in place. The new features don't hinder or change any of that kind of stuff, so you can do that kind of stuff. And again, this will be coming out. We're hoping for Thursday. Next Thursday is our hopeful release date. There's not a whole lot of things we need to suss out, and it's working really, really reliably here. We're going to test it a bit more. But right-clicking on a plugin will give you the search window for searching for anything. If I wanted to use, like, say, ample sound, so I could just go like that. Now I have the ample sounds, and then anything else that has ample, like ampler, those show up as well. But that it's just so nice to be able to use to do searching that way. Same for audio effects, just right click. And it just gives you the list of all the things that are audio effects inside of your plugins. MIDI effects, right click and it will show everything, because MIDI effects can be both audio or instruments. If you go over here, we've got the color layer, change the layer colors. There's a table that I designed with 18 colors. So you have a red, green, blue, nice variety, and then 6 shades of grayscale, all in one color palette. It's really, the grayscales are really, really cool. Say that we were to call up something that's got like, oh, this would be really nice. So we could say like, and again, right click will give you the colors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you'll notice this isn't black. If you go too black, then it becomes like really hard to read. It all becomes black. But you can make your own color maps if you want to work with. But it's awesome. I love how it looks. And so there you go. Again, also on the other cool features that we have coming, the ear, Guru ear for listening to target parameters. Currently, it's not tied into other parameters inside of Unify itself. This is specifically for dealing with plugins, because if you go here to the list, you can get to the auxiliary, to the things, volumes and mix and stuff pretty easily. It's when you get to the actual plugin instruments and stuff like that that it gets really complicated in some cases, depending on what you have loaded as to what the parameter list is. So it's not for here or for volumes or pan. It doesn't do anything here. It's for inside of plugin windows. If I go over here and hit the Guru ear, now I can move this and it will combine it. So then it's joined, okay? So it just makes assigning targets to those tricky things so much easier. And yeah, keep the suggestions coming. Unify is always a work in progress. We are developing as we go. We listen to feedback. We appreciate feedback. Crypto Techie. Yeah, it's very, very quick. That ear, and because you can sit there and have a link parameter list open now. And what's really fun, it can be multiple plugins on different layers. You could go to this Guru sampler and say, I want to listen to this filter cutoff. And I want to also go to the reverb. And I also want it to also change oh, wait. Listen to the Guru ear, the reverb decay. So you can set this up. And once it's set up, you can change your ranges, curvatures, multiple breakpoints for the range if you want to have something do really cool, crazy things. that's all available to you to work with and play with. So it really is a simplification in a lovely way to make it so that you can just quickly, and it's so fun. I have to tell you, one of the fun things in doing this is working with Shane, and we have a really, really cool synergy when we're doing these types of developments where, like, hey, you want to see something? And he shows me something, and I'll be like, oh, that's incredible. And then I think it's something to add to it. And then he thinks it's something to add to it. And it ends up just being just so far, it's just been it's a dream come true relationship to work with him. So everybody, shout out to Shane. Thank you for making this update incredible. And it's going to be free. So all these features are coming that make Unify just like a dream to work with. It was already really fun to work with, but massive shout out to Shane for putting in the time for this. Out for Shane. Instituting colors and all your future patches. There's need to bypass. Yes, yeah. I think a bypass in the settings for colors would be a good idea. Yes, and again, we're going to have a product that you will be able to buy that will be a video of Shane showing you the features in his baby himself, and that can be a way to show some love and appreciation and financial support back to Shane. 100% of the money earned in that video goes to Shane. So we'll be making that available when the update comes out. And thank you to all of you that can support doing that. It'll be a fun video. It's just silly. We're just going to make a little, Skype talking and showing off the features and stuff like that. But it's really to just, there's a massive amount of hours spent doing all the coding for this. And for you guys to be willing to say thank you back with some dollars in his pocket is a very appreciated effort. And he appreciates it. I appreciate it. Happy Shane is what we want to work for, right? So keep everybody on our positive, happy side, continuing to work on such a fun project. It's, when you get deep into the bowels of this, trying to figure out why something isn't working, it's not fun. There's times where I'm sure it's not fun because I get that way just synthesizer programming wise. And here it gets to much deeper, the math and, but he's got the PhD. So it's awesome. So, good. Yes. So good. I'm glad everybody's excited. Shout outs. Let's do our shout outs. Where in the world are you saying hello and watching this from? We love to see where in the world everybody is. Shout out from, it's actually finally sunny, from sunny Portland, Oregon. Hello, Helsinki. Hello, Sweden. Look at, we got people in the Cambridge and Boston and California. Vetter, good to see you, man. Misha in Amsterdam. Love to see you all. Love to see some new names too. That's great. Hey, Knight. Clyte. Mr. Shane in Nova Scotia. Tim in the UK. Everybody, look at where you're all from. I mean, that's what's so fun with this live stream is that it's just a chance for us all to shoot the breeze, talk about new toys, new software, do something cool and new for Unify. It's just really fun. So we're here every Saturday, 12 p.m. for 90 minutes or so. So thank you all for joining. Niagara Falls, Troy, nice to see you. Good job on the patches. Troy made a lot of really nice patches for the collective. So make sure you get the collective to give yourself a whole dose of a whole bunch of new sounds to play with and work with. Some really great samples. Fred Nongot, by the way, Fred, hands together, my friend. His library for, he did an incredible library that came out. Let's see here, where is it at? Got to give him a shout out. And Tim had a great library that came out recently as well for Omnisphere. So we've got all sorts of cool things. Dark Forces for Omnisphere came out from Tim. Let's see. And then the one for, what was the one? Go over here. Oh, that's right. This one is just incredible. This is Electronica that if you want some incredible patches for Uhi's Repro 1, And he took advantage of using Polybox to make things polyphonic. So if you go over here to Repro 1, there's all these really cool things. There's bonus patches and stuff like that, but he has these, where are they? Polys, which are all these really cool patches calling up multiple Repro 1s. Beautiful stuff. And then Tim Dale did a wonderful library for Saber sounds called Dark Forces, which has all sorts of really cool stuff using Omnisphere to the max, lots of layers. Good stuff, man. Bonus patches all over the place, as well as the full library itself. Cool stuff. So thank you all for joining. It's just a pleasure and honor to get to hang out with all of you guys. We'll be here next week to do, I'll be here. So we'll see you next week. Next week's, I think, Mother's Day, right? So we're celebrating Mother's Day. So that means we have to have a Mother's Day sale. Oh, I should point out real quickly that this sale that's going on at the pluginguru.com website is only for 2 more days for 50% off select electronica type repro retro libraries. So if you go here, we've got 2 days for Ambient Dreams. We have 2 days left of the May the 4th Be With You sale, where it's 50% off select libraries in the list. So go down the list, check out what libraries are available. There's some really good ones, really cool stuff. So check those out. Thank you for your support. I'm so glad we had a fun hang, and I will see you next week. And you guys will all, in theory, we will all be playing with Unify 1.10 together, and we'll have all sorts of happy reports. So we'll see you then, okay? So cheers. See you later. Bye, guys. Bye.